Welcome to Mexico. Can you tell us the importance that this country has in the context of AstraZeneca's business and also as a market?
Gabriela, thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to meet you. Mexico is very important to our company. First of all, it's an exciting time in our industry. Innovation is exploding in cancer and cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, rare diseases. And we have a very large portfolio of products. Mexico plays a critical role in developing these products. So it has a role in R&D. It has a role in how we manufacture our products. We export from Mexico to Latin America. 40 million packs manufactured here every year in Mexico. And also we have a very important technology center in Guadalajara. So, very important country for our company.
What type of innovations come out of Mexico for AstraZeneca?
Well, actually a lot. And Mexico participates in the development of our products across oncology, cardiovascular diabetes, respiratory disease, but also rare diseases. And we have a large number of clinical trials. We have right now about 65 or 70 trials ongoing in all of these areas. And Mexico plays a very important role in developing those products. All sorts of cancer drugs and many other medicines.
Mm-hmm. As you know, in Latin America, we suffer from many non-communicable diseases. So I believe that excitement also goes along with the fact that you're finding the remedies and the treatments.
Yes, actually, if you think about it, 80% of deaths from disease are from non-communicable diseases. And so the biggest killers are cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, but also respiratory disease. People don't know it, but asthma, COPD, chronic bronchitis kills a lot of people who have exacerbation of asthma, exacerbation of chronic bronchitis, get hospitalized, but they die in the process. So those are three of the main killers, if you want. And we have R&D efforts across all of those very important diseases.
And when it comes to preventing the deaths, how do we fare as the region vis-a-vis other parts of the world?
It sort of varies across the region, country to country. But I have to say, diabetes in Mexico is actually quite prevalent. If you look at people over the age of 60, 25% of people in this country have diabetes. Yes. So 1 person out of 4 has diabetes over the age of 60. But also younger people have diabetes. And then you also have hypertension, cholesterol. So this is really a big issue, of course. And in many ways, it's driven by excess weight that drives metabolic syndrome. It also is a cause of cancer, actually.
What could we do better, not only society, but governments, and even, the good relationship between private sector and governments?
Well, I mean, if you look at the way people develop diseases, it starts with their way of life and their environment. Way of life is how they live their life. What do they eat? Do they exercise? And of course, good diet and exercise is number one priority. The environment. Pollution is a factor in developing diseases. So the prevention of all of this goes through, better way of life and reduction of pollution and exposure to pollutants, of course. The next best thing you can do is early diagnose the disease and intercept it. So if you have cancer and it's in early phase of development, if you screen people and you diagnose them early, you can cure them. So the good example is breast cancer, because women go through screening, mammographies regularly. They get early diagnosed and they can be cured. Lung cancer, on the other hand, is often diagnosed too late when people are metastatic. And then, of course, it's very hard to cure them.
Absolutely. But you said in the beginning of the conversation that this is an exciting time for the sector. Tell me more about AI and how is it contributing to the development of, new medicines, cures?
AI is actually changing the world, I think, and in our industry, it's really changing almost every aspect of how we manage the company. If you look at R&D, it's helping us come up with new targets, better understand biology, and look for new targets for new treatments. It's helping us optimize molecules faster. In the past, to optimize a molecule would take us 6 months before we could take it forward. Now we can do this in a few days. It's helping us accelerate our clinical trials. So it's really changing the way we research and develop products. It's also helping us develop new diagnostic tests for patients. It's helping us in the way we manufacture our products. So it really has an impact across all the aspects of our company.
People are even talking about curing cancers, cancers that in other times we wouldn't think about. That's the case.
Absolutely. I think first of all, going back to your earlier question, I think one important piece is screening and diagnosis. And that's what, as a company, we try to do, partner with governments around the region to launch screening campaigns. For instance, we have, with the use of AI, actually, scanned 500,000 X-rays that were done of chest X-rays that were done for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
And we use this to try and diagnose patients with lung cancer, diagnose them early. So diagnosing patients early with lung cancer or kidney disease or COPD, chronic bronchitis, is key. And then next thing is that if people have a metastatic disease, I think we can actually see the time when we will actually be able to cure patients or bring them a sustainable remission. So the combination of a number of new technologies that we are working on.
It's 2025, and I know AstraZeneca has set targets for 2030. So tell me more about those. Like, how close are you to, accomplishing them?
I think we are on our way to getting there. Last year, we exceeded $50 billion in revenue. We grew by 21%. And this year, we have a whole range of very important phase 3 readouts, new products, new indications in cancer in particular. And so by the end of this year, we will be able to show people that with the momentum of our existing revenue plus the new readouts, the new clinical trial readouts, we are going to be achieving the 80 billion. But the important thing behind this 80 billion number is the millions of patients we can help. Today, across the region in Latin America, we help 3.5 million people every year with our medicines across cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease.
These are exciting times for the sector, but in the context of a very chaotic world right now. And I know you do have innovation efforts in China. Are you afraid, nervous? How do you take the new Trump administration and the way the focus of China has been in terms of, the global, industry and the challenges that it might pose for the company in the short term, probably?
It's a really good question. Our mission as a company, and we really try to stick to that mission, is to bring our medicines, to as many people as possible around the world. So we have the biggest footprint, geographical footprint of any company in our industry. We are present in every market. We're big everywhere. In China, we are number one. In Mexico, we are number one. And in Japan, we are the number one pharmaceutical company. And we try to bring our product to all these patients around the world. So that means we have to navigate this world, which is fast changing. We have to navigate the science, which is changing very fast. We have to navigate geopolitics. But at the end of the day, the best way to do this is to stay focused on this mission to bring our medicines to patients. But we also organize ourselves so that we have supply chains for China and some markets. We have supply chains for the US and Europe so that we actually can operate without being constrained by those tensions between countries.
Important. And you will have an answer in case President Trump asks AstraZeneca about their operations, I guess.
We have a large presence in the US.
Yes.
We have 18,000 employees. We have 14 manufacturing sites in the United States. We have 2 very large R&D centers in Gettysburg near Washington, but also in Boston. So our presence in the US is very, very strong.
Fantastic. Pascal, merci.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.